Hey, everybody. All right, so my time away is finished, and I am now back at full speed. They're going to the biggest change, I guess, going forward is going to be the Great Awakening is going to be broken down as I said it would be in the last update that I gave you guys. If you didn't watch that and you're curious, then just go back and watch that so I don't have to repeat it all. So the Great Awakening, that just, I guess, just expect the unexpected. um, okay, so like I'm just going to do what I'm being led to do by spirit. So, if that's just one Great Awakening video a month that has all that juicy stuff in it, the whole list of things I'm gonna cover with timestamps, then it'll just be one. But if there are other topics that I feel like I need to get on and talk about, then I will do that too. I'm still going to keep doing the inspiring talks, at least for now, the inspiring stories. Gosh, what else? Keep doing the Q&As. Everything else is pretty much going as normal. Just wanted to mention real quick about black magic. When you start shining your light really bright, and people will want to put a kibosh on it, especially if they feel badly about themselves and maybe how they've treated you, whether they've faced that within themselves or not. They may, there's so many different reasons that people resort to things like that, but I never, ever condone black magic. Black magic meaning that you are trying to harm somebody. You're wanting to cause them, keep them from someone, keep them from happiness, keep them from flourishing, keep them from like trying to put a block on their life in some way, in a negative way. Now, if you're trying to protect yourself, that's a different thing. If you're trying to just set good, healthy boundaries, that's different. Every word out of our mouth is a spell. Everything that we think is a spell. So, because we are creators, that which we think and that which we speak, we create. So we always have to be really, really conscious and aware of what we're thinking. And that's why sometimes when I pick up on black magic for you guys, it's just somebody who's very, very jealous and doesn't want you to be successful. That in itself can become a black magic spell. So we always have to keep ourselves in check, in terms of where we're coming from when we're hurt by other people or upset with other people. And I think the best thing you can possibly do is send that person love. Now, if somebody's new to my channel in particular, if they don't know me very well, I have to warn you that I am very, very protected. So for your own safety and for your own protection, I wouldn't try to put black magic on me. It just doesn't go very well for you. So, and I laugh because I just feel so bad for people who try to put black magic on me. And I'll try to warn them. I'll be like, do not do that. Do not do that. I know that I'm aware that you're doing that, and you better stop. Because if they continue, it gets really, really ugly for them. So it totally backfires. And then I have to hear these horrible stories about how their lives fall apart and their relationships break up and they lose money and all the things that they were wishing upon you have happened to them. And I don't, I just try to send them love. I try to let them know to stop it, and then I send them love, and that's it. Love is so much more powerful than fear or jealousy or rage or anger or any of the negative emotions. Just keep coming back to your heart space. And if you get triggered by somebody, hopefully you've been listening to me and you've been, looking at learning Byron Katie's work, her self-inquiry process, which is her website is thework.com. And no, I'm not promoting her. Just, there's no, I'm promoting her because it works. It works really well, but you do have to practice it and you do have to commit yourself to it. A lot of people don't want to do the work. A lot of people are kind of lazy and they're just like, I tried it a couple times. It didn't really work for me. Learn how to do it right, because it will work for everybody. Guaranteed, 100%. There is no such thing as it's not good for you. It's not good for your ego is what it's not good for. So get past your ego. It's a trick of the ego trying to tell you that it doesn't work. Okay. To learn to do it the right way, because when you do, you will be all empowered and you won't have to go to a counselor and you won't have to go through any kind of back and forth stuff. So now when you do go to confront somebody and you're feeling triggered and you want to say something to somebody, your number one first priority needs to be to examine yourself and why you feel you need to do that first, because it's essentially trying to control somebody else's behavior. But it's also good to always drop into your heart however you need to. You may do Byron Katie's work, you may do Qigong, you may go for a walk, you may talk to a friend who's always sensible and doesn't take sides. Just do what you need to do to be coming from a really heartfelt space when you go to talk to somebody about something that's bothering you. And you could look at it as a way of bonding and getting closer and getting deeper. And if these types of communications don't do that, then that probably is not somebody that you are going to be all that close to. You know what I mean? If you can't come out with stuff that you think and that you feel and talk it over with the person and have it be a reasonable conversation, and it doesn't become about the ego or tit for tat or attacking or any of that stuff, then you want your communication to be healthy, or practice good, healthy communication, because it is so easy for people, especially this day and age, so easy for people to become triggered. So we're learning as we go into this new earth and everything to really listen to people who have an opposing viewpoint, or who, we gotta stop judging people and trying to control them, basically. However you want to do that needs to be a focus right now, I feel. And that includes black magic. If somebody does something to you that you feel isn't fair and you don't want them to get ahead and you don't want them to be flourishing and successful if you're not, and blah, 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 whatever the thing is, a victim mentality is not going to get you very far. And it's best just to go within with all of these things, Why do I want to stop that behavior? Why do I want to change that behavior? Why do I want to correct that? Was it really necessary? Just ask yourself these questions and ponder your own behavior. Your job is not to try to control everybody else to be a certain way that makes you feel okay. So otherwise you're going to be just eagle-eyeing everybody. You're going to be watching everybody for everything. So your job is to figure out your triggers, and that's your only job. How am I triggered about this circumstance? And then go within, figure it out, and learn how to love yourself even more, because it's always essentially about coming back to loving yourself even more and even more and even more and even more. So, and then again, if you go to have that communication, let it be a communication that brings you guys closer. So even think about the other person that you're going to talk about, or to, and think to yourself, okay, how is this going to come across? What is it? What's creating this behavior? What's causing this behavior? Well, they're scared, or they're insecure, or they're not loving themselves, or they're whatever it is. So really go deep with it. And then provide like a safety net for them to fall in a sense, emotionally. So don't help them feel supported through it. And don't make it all about them either. Make it a mutual learning experience, and make it fun, and have a sense of humor, and be able to laugh at yourselves. Take things lightly. Don't take it so seriously, because that's just the ego flaring up anyway. So Yeah, just keep going deeper, guys. We're just letting it all off, just throwing off that ego at every turn. Boom, 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 boom. And if you have to have a good cry, have a good cry. But just get it out and just support and love yourself through it. Was there something else I was going to talk about? I just felt somebody asking me something, but I don't remember. I didn't. And what was the question? Okay. Something about, because there are a lot of relationships out there where you kind of have to be around somebody who's kind of negative, or have to be around somebody who's like complaining, or whatever it is. Um, so the best thing that you can do is stay so present in the moment that it doesn't rattle you, and that their shit is their shit, period. What they're doing to you is, if you feel like they're judging you, for example, you think they're judging you, then you can just remind yourself, okay, this is when I feel judged by them, that's my prompt to go inside and to go present in the moment. Let that be a trigger or a reminder, a gentle reminder. Go within, go within, go within. Because ultimately, if somebody's judging you, they don't love themselves. They're not seeing themselves clearly, and they're trying to direct it outward towards you to correct and change you, or to make you feel this, that, and the other thing. You guys get this. You've been doing this a while. I'm just reiterating and reminding. And some of you are new to me. So welcome if you're new. And thank you for being here. All right. I guess we can begin. Oh, let me take a sip of my matcha. Oh, and the more you can, okay. All right. When you are a channel, which many of you are, one of the discerning things that you need to be able to do is know when you're actually being pushed by spirit, or if it's your ego trying to jump in and say, I just really felt like saying this. Well, if you really felt like saying this, then that's where you have to say, what's so important about it, or what's, what am I trying to achieve here, would be a good question to ask yourself. What's the end result? That is it coming out naturally? Is just coming flying out of my mouth, like, or is it appropriate, or is it really necessary, or is it like, it's kind of, it needs to come from a heartfelt, very natural flow. Not like disruptive, and not like an eruption at all, or like any kind of, what do you call it? Just let it flow, and don't judge it either. Practice doing the Divine Guidance Council meetings, because they really help you get in touch with how that feels, how that flow is. Okay. There's some kind of okay, what is it? I feel like getting some spirit cards here. Feels like I have a more of a variety of people watching today. Isn't that funny? Like, people who hate me and people who love me, and all these people in between who are in a lot of chaos. People who are totally misunderstanding each other. Okay, so just remember, if you're feeling any kind of discomfort at all, no matter what it is, whether you're being triggered or misunderstood, or you feel judged, or you're doing the judging, or you wish this thing would change or that person would change, or you feel snappy, or you feel like any of it, irritated, it's fear. There's always either fear or love. There's lots of different expressions of fear, lots of different expressions of love, but Just remind yourself of that and just keep coming back to the heart. All right. So Spirit says you have nothing to fear but those thoughts that you're entertaining. Start using your mind to create what's possible instead. So always remember to come back. Oh yeah, and don't doubt your intuition. You're not making it up. And sometimes you're just given the intuitive hit so that you will know the information. It's not necessarily for you to blurt out. Like, I know some people go in public places, and I used to do this when I was first starting out being psychic too. Is I'd go to a place and I'd even feel compelled to go over and tell somebody something about their future or something. I had to learn that, that there's a wisdom in it. Um, I realized now in hindsight that was more my ego wanting to be right. And it was like, I'm gonna show the guy that I was with at the time, I'm gonna show him just how psychic I am, and I'm gonna go tell this lady this, that, and the other thing. And when the lady goes, oh my gosh, it's so true. Oh, then he'll be like, oh wow, yeah, that psychic stuff, it's true. So, but sometimes you don't realize when you're in your ego like that, and oh, I just can't help but just help everybody. I just have to go help everybody. And it's like, just, keep yourself in check. Keep yourself in check that it could be your ego. Okay. Having a good cry and then putting your hand on your heart and saying, I love you can be all you need sometimes. So keep that in mind too. It seems like a simple fix, and it's like, no, my problem is really complicated. You don't understand. Like, I have to do this, that, and the other thing, and it's just overwhelming. And just put your hand on your heart. I mean, I'm telling you guys, it's a cure-all. Okay, and say I love you to yourself. Put your hand on your heart and say I love you to yourself. Always align with your highest truth and speak from that place for the best outcome for everyone involved. Yes, live your truth. And don't squash yourself or say that you shouldn't. It's such a fine line. Because you also don't want to suppress yourself. This is why you got to do Byron Katie's work, because it helps you process it all so that you become very clear about what it is that you do want to discuss or what it is that you need to let go, kind of thing. You decipher really well when you do that type of process. Okay, you're only being given one step at a time, because if you knew all that was coming, it would overwhelm you. Please just trust that you're being guided, and that you don't need all the answers right now. So maybe a lot of you are controlling people because you don't have any other thing to control. You know what I mean? It's like you're wanting some things to change or some decisions to be made, or you're wanting to I just want this done already. I want the EBS to happen already. And I want, gosh. So, you might start doing some of these behaviors because you're not able to control the situation. Recognize it for what that is, and just be like, okay, well, I'm just being given one step at a time, because I'm supposed to just go forward this way, take 3 steps, and the spirit will urge me to go to the left and take those steps. And then, you're going to be directed as to what's going on and what to do. So don't let your need to control your life have you start mistreating people around you or in your environment or whatever, or catch yourself, because we're all humans. Cut yourself slack and just recognize it and see it, and pull back within and come from the heart and give the benefit of the doubt. Always, always, always give lots of grace. So many misunderstandings. Somebody may not have blocked you because of what you think it was. Even if they said something that seemed like, oh my gosh, they're talking to me, it may not have been. It totally may not have been. It may be a totally different reason that's completely valid, that you just don't know. So, we don't have to understand why anybody does whatever they do. We don't need to take it personal and make it about us either. We just need to understand that life does what it does, and it's all being divinely orchestrated, and it's all beautiful, and it's all perfect, and it's all just part of the process. So just follow what you're prompted to do, let it all go as best you can, and keep dropping into your heart. Okay. Okay. 4056 was actually left over from last week. She asked 2 questions and I only answered the first one. So we're going to look at the second one now. Hi, Amy, about our dog, Bella. I'm hopeful that when my girls move in with me, she will come too. She's a wonderful dog. However, she barks uncontrollably at every dog she sees. There's a dog, Ivy, that lives in the condo right next to me, and I would love for the two of them to get along and be friends. The first meeting wasn't great. Can you help Bella with whatever causes her to be stressed when she sees other dogs? I would love for her to be able to play and enjoy other dogs, especially Ivy. All right, so I'm going to talk to Bella for a minute. Yeah, she's nervous. She feels like she hasn't gotten a ton of she hasn't had a lot of really great interactions with other dogs. Doesn't feel like she's had a ton of socialization. She just feels pretty insecure. Like she doesn't even like trust her own intuition as to whether another dog is like a good dog or not, to be friends with even. So she's just kind of like a wallflower. Like she comes in and she's like, oh, I don't know. Hamashi na tatai ke ana apon mamaan. Sheje la isan se titin tai ke hands. I'm helping her to like drop her guard and just give it a shot. So one thing that you can do to kind of prep for this, and like on the positive reinforcement training side, she generally you could say that she has a negative association with dogs automatically off the bat because of maybe some bad experiences she's had. So one way that you could help that is if she sees or when there's a point in which a scared dog will exhibit curiosity first before it gets scared, right? So it'll look over there and its ears will perk and it'll be like, oh, a dog. And then it's like, oh, a dog, So you catch them. A clicker training is really great for this, and having a little treat bag on you all the time or having treats in your pocket or whatever you want to do. But you want to catch that moment basically when she's looking over at a dog, just with the curiosity, just noticing the dog. She can look over there and you go, oh, dog, good girl. Look, it's a dog, good girl. And you give her treats. Now, if she starts reacting and barking and her hackles go up or any of that stuff, you got too close to the subject too fast. So you got to back up and put more space there between her and the object. Now, once she is perfectly fine doing that, what I just explained, she'll get to a point where she'll form a more positive association, at least initially seeing a dog. The dog will come on the scene and she'll actually be happy. She'll say, oh, I'm about to get a treat. Because especially if you're really good about it, if you catch it quick and you're on it and you do training sessions like every day for just a few minutes, like go to the park. And when you notice a dog, when she notices the dog, when her ears perk, you catch that moment and good girl, look, there's another dog. Okay. So once she seems fine with the dog, with every dog that comes on the scene now, and she doesn't seem to be going to the other place, then you go a little bit closer and you just kind of inch in very slowly over time. And again, if you see a negative reaction, you've pushed it too far, too fast. So just back up again, put more space in there, and you just keep working it up like that until eventually she'll be more curious. She'll walk up to another dog with curiosity rather than defensiveness, because her insecurity gets translated to the other dog as, I can't trust you either. And then both of the dogs are looking at each other going, I don't trust the situation. And then their owners are also having anxiety, and the dogs can feel their owner's anxiety, and they think that they're in a stressful, fearful situation. And then it escalates things. So, yeah, that's the best way to work up to that. And let me just talk to her about that, about what you're going to be doing with her. Tatan sa say na po maan hashishin. She says that she would love to feel confident And to go, I mean, even when she gets confident though, she'll need to stay on a leash when you're out in public. Just thought I'd put that out there. No matter how well trained your dog is and whatnot, it makes the other owners feel a lot more comfortable if you keep your dog on a leash, because they feel like the dog's going to be more under control and whatnot. Otherwise, you just add stress to a situation. Shishe na po ma'an hake and sase. Yeah, she's really looking forward to feeling a lot more comfortable, like approaching dogs. So she loves what you're thinking of doing, or what I had proposed. Tatainke and sa. She says that she'd even sleep better. So she gets kind of stressed. I think she's even stressed at the thought that she's going to come to see you and that dog again. I think she's anticipating it because it wasn't your daughter that's coming. Like yeah. I think your daughter's thinking about coming, and she's just nervous about it. So maybe you can, show this to your daughter as to what she can do in the meantime to help her with that stress. I also recommend Cesar Millan's videos, even though he's not positive reinforcement. I do appreciate that he really gets the way a dog thinks, and even though he's using certain sounds, you don't have to, I mean, it's like a sound is not abusive. People can go a bit far with that. If a certain sound gets a certain reaction and it gets the point across to the animal, and it's not making them afraid of you or anything like that, but they just kind of go, oh, okay, that may not be a good thing. And they get you, and it builds confidence between the two of you, and it helps smooth the whole situation over, and the dog now understands and trusts the owner more and stuff. There's good to it too. So I would definitely watch one of his videos on introducing dogs to each other, see how that feels. Because sometimes, depending on the situation, it's best to have the dogs off leash because they'll get along better. Whereas if you're in a park, but for the socialization part that I'm teaching you, talking about, that's a whole different thing. That's forming a positive association with other dogs. But, anyway, I would watch one of his videos. I recommend it. And watching or reading a positive reinforcement book. I think it's important that every owner, even with cats, you can train cats to do things too that you'd be really surprised about. So, okay. I need to pause for just a minute. Annie is so cute. I went to go to the bathroom. I come out of the bathroom and she rears up and goes booking down the hallway. Of course, I had to take off after her and run her around in circles. So I'm back. Oh yeah, Spirit also wanted to say that, when people in your life have successes, celebrate with them, because it means that you're that much closer to that kind of success for yourself as well. So if you're hearing about it or seeing it in other people, don't go into that lack mentality of comparing yourself and saying, well, where's my love? My love's not here. Or how come somebody didn't do something special for me like that? Or why did, how come that hasn't happened for me? Or how come I haven't aligned with my life purpose? Or how come I haven't, don't go into that. Say, oh my gosh, they just aligned with their life purpose in a really powerful way. I must be about to too. Whoa, they're starting to talk to their love. Wow. Or pay attention to what's being said. What is the person sharing with you? Because maybe that's some good information for you to understand yourself for when you talk to your person or whatever is going to be happening. See it all as a hint and a clue and encouragement from Spirit that you're on the right path to having your own desires come true. So, yeah. Okay. 4059. Hi, Amy. Thank you, God, for my mystical creature, Khaleesi, who came into my life out of nowhere. And thank you, Amy, for your guidance on this emotional ride. Yeah, and it is, isn't it? The video you made about ascension and animals was very helpful. If you guys haven't seen that yet and you have an animal, I think that that would be a really good idea. I have a couple different videos on animals, so maybe just put in my name and animals and see what comes up for you. Thank you for your guidance. Okay, the video is made about da da da. I know that my dog Khaleesi activated the childhood dream that I've activated a childhood dream that I've had. I've been designing a dog shelter since I was a kid and saying that when I'm rich, I'll build it. I have Zims and would love to build my dream B&B, bed and breakfast, healing oasis for people and a sanctuary for animals. I don't have a plan, only this vision in my head. Am I going to be able to get the funds to do that? I laughed when I read this ahead of time because I was like, didn't she just say she just bought Zims? The Zims are the funds to do that. So let me just check in with that situation with the Zims. Some of you have asked me what is the RV. So let me just talk about that real quick too. The RV is a funds revaluation. Basically, the whole country is going to start being like metals backed, gold backed, silver backed. So it's going to actually have worth instead of just being a piece of paper that doesn't mean anything. And you've known about the US being in tremendous debt for quite a while and whatnot. So that's all changing. And there are going to be a lot of different adjustments. A lot of countries are really undervalued, some are overvalued. So it's all getting balanced out. And in that, some foreign currencies are going to be worth a lot more now than they were then. So some people are kind of investing in things like dong, dinar, what is a bolivar, Venezuela bolivar, Zimbabwe notes is what people mean by Zims. There are a couple places that I've gone to. And for me, it's like, I think it's a good idea to really spread it out and just get a little bit of everything and not enough to hurt you if it disappears. Put a little bit of crypto in, put $100 in everything or something like that, $20 in everything. You really don't have to put that much. Just put a little bit here, by $20 worth of crypto, $20 worth of Zims, $20 worth of dong, $20 worth of, just put it in all these little things that you hear about. And that way you don't have all your eggs in one basket and you're devastated if that one thing doesn't work out. I think that that's just the wise way to live your life. Like, why would you just put all your eggs in just one basket? And then when you hear you have everything tied to that. And if you hear some rumors, which there are so many rumors, oh, Zims aren't happening, they're not going to be worth anything. You're not going to go, oh my gosh, I put thousands of dollars, my entire savings into the Zims, and they're not going to, then you'll panic, and then you have this emotional attachment and you're freaking out over absolutely nothing that was just a rumor in the first place. So put a little bit of it everywhere, and then don't give a crap about it anymore. Whether it makes money or doesn't make money or whatever, just be like, okay, just put it out there to the universe. And that's it. And if it should happen, then I've got this great plan that I'll kick in. That's going to just be awesome for the sanctuary and the B&B and all this stuff. It's going to be so much fun. Then you spend time like, I just felt some of you, well, I was going to say, okay, let me just go back to that in a second. But then you can spend some time daydreaming and like even having little sessions like once a week, just sit down for a half an hour and just kind of write down, if I could have this place, these are the colors I would decorate in. These are the things that I would do. This is this and that's that. And just like have fun with it. And just kind of play. It'll be your way of playing. And that play will manifest in your life. It'll bring it. So, but worrying about it and wondering if it'll ever happen is pushing it away. So we have like the collective is contributing to the speed of this whole thing too. Are you feeling empowered, and are you having fun with it? And are you in a creative space where you're designing the life that you want and excited about what'll happen if you get the money? Oh, this will happen and that, be in that space. It's not too late to get some of these foreign currencies, you guys. You can still do it, but I keep telling everybody, you better hurry because it's happening fast. I would definitely, dinar is high up on the list. Dinar is going to be where I feel the dinar is going to be worth quite a bit. Silver is going to be worth quite a bit. Dinar and silver are the top two, I would say. Zimbabwe notes, they're going to do well. Venezuelan bolivar, they're going to do well. So here's some of the websites. Silvergreetings.com is a good place. You can get dinar and dong there. Venezuelan bolivar you can find on, I think it's called worldbanknotes.com. Try that. Or just put that, if you can't find it, then just put World Banknotes in DuckDuckGo and see if a website with words like that come up. That maybe it's a different combination of those words, something like that. But I think it's worldbanknotes.com. And then for the Zimbabwe notes, 100trillions.com. So 100, but in numbers, 100trillions.com. I think that's all of them. And you get your gold or your silver or your platinum or whatever kind of metals that you're going to get. You get those just by going to a dealer locally. Make sure that they have good reviews. They could have, a BBB standing, Better Business Bureau. It's good if they will make an appointment and just meet with you one-on-one instead of you just walking in and having all these people milling about. You want your privacy. Yeah. So daydreaming is definitely going to help this happen, and also becoming sovereign in every way, shape, and form you possibly can in every area of your life. So you can become a state national, meaning that you start learning common law and you do an affidavit of repudiation, whatever you need to do to start getting the ball rolling in terms of embracing common law. It's going to help bring Nasara Jasara to the forefront more. It's already operating in the background, but it'll bring some of these other things forward. Yeah. So will your Zimbabwe notes be enough to fund all of these dreams and things that you're having? Yes, absolutely. Also, if you have a dream like that and you're milking the energy, I call it milking the energy because you're just intentionally kind of, oh, it would be so great if this happens and if that happens, and it's just like you're milking it. Or you're even when you're in an abundant state of mind and something really wonderful just happened for you. Oh, I just love how everything goes so incredible for me. Or, man, I just love hearing these stories, or I just love this and that. So that's also milking the energy. But if you're continuously milking the energy or using affirmation, I'm so glad that blew over and never became anything that I was afraid it would become. And you're taking a look at the fearful things and you're putting the kibosh on them by using a really good affirmation that can replace the fear, and you're using the law of attraction basically, then it doesn't really matter if you get Zimbabwe notes or dinar or any of it. Essentially, I mean, it's kind of fun to play with the energies of it all and put your eggs in all these different baskets and things, but ultimately your energy will also pull what you need. Maybe the people who bought all those different things will want to invest in you because of what you're doing, and the project that you have is just so wonderful and heartfelt, and they really want to invest in something that's beautiful like that. So you're going to get the funds if you stay in a positive vibration and you stay excited and you milk the energy. Okay, number 2. Can Spirit please give me some guidance on whether I should sell my properties now and invest the money in land or a house? This is definitely the time to sell your house as quickly as possible because the prices for homes are going to go down, plummet. They just said plummet very soon. So I would try to sell your home as soon as possible. I'm getting a yes from Spirit on that. And then I recently found a cute bungalow in North Carolina with 2 lots of land, but I'm not sure if I should wait until the prices drop. It's quite high. So yeah, I would sell right now and then wait. It's quite high and has asbestos. Asbestos is, you can't kill that stuff. You can't, it's always there. It's always going to be there. Oh, they just said better. I think you'll find a better place. It's good that they told you That's good that they let you know that. I don't know if there are proper ways to dispose of it, but I know it's very dangerous and you really just can't get rid of it. So I don't know if I would even touch that. The property is also a questionable because the city wants to expand the road and may want to tear that house down. I'm wondering whether to wait or sell what I've got in New Jersey and make a jump. Yeah. So yeah, just what I felt. Okay, so number 3, I've been working on the interior design field as a decorative artist. I love my job, but recently I just can't stand working for some clients. I've got no patience for utterly self-centered people. I would much rather get a house with an art studio where I can, okay, something that just jumped in my head is to possibly incorporate something heartfelt and spiritual in what you do. So don't just design people's homes, maybe also incorporate feng shui. Then you're not going to get this snooty kind of a-hole people who are acting like they're above you and they're kind of being jerks and they're self-centered and whatnot, like you were talking about. If you put out there feng shui, somebody who's just totally materialistic is going to go, what feng shui, because they don't care about spirituality or energy or any of that stuff. They just care about how it looks. So that could be a good way to weed people out, is to put some kind of spiritual, thing in there. It could even be like, I will come to your home and I will feel it out. I will feel the energies of your home and see, what I feel you need. Let's do a consultation and you can feel the person out and see what kind of person they are when you meet with them. And if you guys are both in that creative space and it feels really good, then get involved with the person. So don't take on a client that you don't like, that you don't really have fun with. I would much rather get a house with an art studio where I can create and focus on the dream that I mentioned in question number 1, and only occasionally do modern wall murals in commercial spaces. How do you see all this coming together for me? I definitely feel like you doing a lot of murals. I feel like you're going to have enough money to where you're going to do the murals voluntarily for free, for fun, in people's communities that are also doing humanitarian projects. I think it'll be really neat. A lot of this that you're going to be doing isn't going to be to make money at it. It's going to be because you enjoy it. So I think naturally your decorative business is going to become more intuitive, just naturally anyway, because you're going to meet all these wonderful people who are doing like-minded people who are doing wonderful things, and you're going to want to be involved and to help them decorate better. Or it's like all of us going forward are going to be contributing what we're passionate about and what we love and what we bring to the table, and everybody's coming together to support each other. Yeah. I think you have the right place in mind, that place in North Carolina or whatever. I think that's going to be really a great place for you. And Khaleesi. Okay, so 4060. Hi, Amy. Thank you with all my heart for shining your light and offering your words of wisdom, especially during difficult times for you personally and as well as the collective. I do share a lot of my personal challenges with you guys because we're all human beings. We all have egos. We all have struggles. We all get attacked psychically. We all, and if I can go through something and it ends up helping you, then all the better for everybody. And I get put through, as a leader, I get put through all kinds of things to make me pretty much impenetrable so that I can turn around and help you guys to do the same. So, yeah, I appreciate you appreciating that. It's very much appreciated. It's funny. My question is, one night when I was sleeping a few months ago, I experienced what felt like a light being switched on in my rib cage. You know how in spooky movies they go down into the basement and pull the light chain and you could hear the electricity in the bulb? Well, that's what it felt like, a huge bulb. I felt the light going on and also the vibration of it. It felt so good. It didn't last long, maybe about 15 seconds. Then it flickered off. Interesting. Can you please get any guidance or clarity from Spirit on what this was? I'd like to be able to switch my light on and keep it on. Is that something that's in all of us? Thank you so much. Lots of love. Um, yes, it is in all of us. In fact, the Qigong routine that I do, it's called Lift Chi Up, Pour Chi Down. And it's part of a program called More Energy, More Life. It is in my resources page on my website. If you go to amysatori.com/resources, it's all the way down to the bottom. And a lot of Qigong masters actually teach how to cultivate that light bulb within you. And it is in your rib cage. It's like at your center, at your core, you start cultivating this light that gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And the more flexible you become and the more fluid you become. And I heard this from David Wilcock too. I was like, oh, that's a different way of looking at it. Is it becomes stronger and stronger and even more physical in a sense. Like I knew a guy who practiced Qigong so much that even when he was sleeping, he would glow. And there was like I don't know, it'd be like not having a nightlight on, but one of those like something glow in the dark. It was like he would glow in the dark a bit. He would glow so much, he said, that he could pick up a book and read from the light of his hands. So it's a very real thing, and it's something we could all cultivate. It's just chi running through our bodies. Chi can also be somewhat of a protectant in the sense that you can literally have somebody standing right in front of you about to attack you, and you can put the energy towards them, direct the energy towards them if you know how to work with energy, and it will throw them back, physically throw them back without you laying a finger on them. Or even you could even think it. It's like partially some telekinesis too. So you could just look at that thing and want it to get away from you, like a lion or a tiger or something, or whatever is coming at you. And you could just be like, get away from me. Your intention is get away from me. And it will turn the other direction and go. So, yeah, cultivate that light bulb. I would be doing some Qigong for sure. And I think they gave you a taste of it so that you would want it, so that you would figure all of this out and start, cultivating the chi within you and building that up. They just said it was an activation. It was an activation to remind you. I think you were a Qigong master in a past life. So they were trying to remind you. Was there another purpose in it? No, it was just a reminder of who you are and what you're capable of. All of us, I feel, are going through that right now. We're being reminded of our powers and what we're capable of. And sometimes these really stressful times bring that out in us. Sometimes we have to be completely broken down to nothing, to ashes, before we can become the phoenix that rises up from it. So, yeah, just always remember too, life is not beating you up or beating you down. It is helping you become impenetrable. It is helping you. That's why I have my exercise. Thank you, God, for my misery. It's not the same thing as affirmations. I know it gets confused because you say thank you, God, for both of them, but the affirmations are like taking a negative thing and turning it around in that moment. And so, like, if you're afraid that you're going to get a bill in the mail, but you're like, something could go either way. You could, or maybe you couldn't. And so you affirm, thank you, God, that I never got that bill. Thank you, God, that I never get any bills or something like that, and it's going to put that energy out there. And then you may not be charged, or it may be dismissed that month, or it may be, that was a bad example, but you get the idea. Thank you, God, for my misery is an exercise where you actually sit down and you write out a list of benefits and advantages as to why whatever that thing is a good thing. So it would be like if you thank you, God, that I get bills. Okay. So you would write down, well, it makes me feel like I'm abundant in the sense that, I have enough money to pay this. It can, if I let it can make me feel generous. So that would be number one. Number two would be, well, we're all living and thriving. Somebody's making money. So that's great. I'm happy to contribute to to people living and breathing and doing, you know, I'm part of the life process. And I think it's great because it's a cycle and blah, 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 blah. Number three, I'm happy to pay bills because paying bills ultimately is something that I can overcome when I become sovereign and I don't have to pay them anymore because I shouldn't be paying them because I'm worth billions of dollars in the first place. You know, so it'll be really awesome to overcome that and to not have to pay the bills anymore because I'm in my power. So how awesome that it has been that I paid the bills so I can feel the pain of it so that I can then not have them anymore. You know, stuff like that. So that's the difference between the two. But I feel like doing that exercise, thank you God for my misery, would absolutely help with that as well. Okay, so in terms of, let's see, well, you'll know what I mean. You'll know what I mean. Is what I just got. Okay. So 4063. A male coworker and I recently changed jobs in March 2022 and went to the same company. I am an unlicensed psychologist and brought my clients with me. The coworker has been treated so much better than me, and I'm so frustrated. So many things were not disclosed until after I was hired that would have flagged me to not take the job. Can you help me see if this will get worse, better or worse, and what will be best for me and my clients? Okay, should she stay at this company she's at? No. Papa, she not take it. They said that it got you out of the one that you were in, and that was the point, is to get you out. They said out of the rat race. So there must have been like a lot of pressure at your old job that was really kind of crushing you. Papa, she not taking. They also want you to become more independent. Maybe they're encouraging you to do your own, like not work for anybody, but do your own work, especially since you brought a bunch of clients with you. They'd probably be happy to meet with you in your home or for you to get your own anything. So maybe part of this is you branching off away from having to have licenses and things like that. Maybe you could incorporate some woo-woo stuff, meaning untraditional, I guess. Maybe you should, think about some other things that you're really drawn to, Reiki and things. Maybe you can do something really creative and talk to the person about their problems first, addressing certain things and listening and doing all that. But then you switch over like midway through the session and do some Reiki work on it. Something like that. Or maybe you do some affirmations or teach them how to come up with affirmations to the opposite. Something like that. That's kind of like, takes you out of the role of psychologist, like traditional psychologist, puts you more in life coach mode. And you don't need certification for that. We're not going to need certification and things and degrees and things like that going forward. So it's all about just following your intuition and do what you're prompted to by spirit, whatever that is, and using your experience to be the best at that as you can be. Okay. So it just feels like it's something that's a becoming. So however that challenges you, like you've probably already had the idea and you probably said, I can't do that, or put some kind of limitation on it because you feel like you have to be like enslaved by, your degree, and I have to stay within certain limitations and whatnot. But I feel like you're being encouraged to do the uncomfortable thing and kind of spread your wings. Let's get a card here. Keep charging ahead and don't take no for an answer. Expect miraculous solutions to appear. So it's kind of that thing of, as you step forward bravely, being willing to do something that's totally out of your comfort zone, you're going to be led. They're saying to wait until the right time to do this. You will know. You'll feel very uncomfortable. Oh, look at this. I'm helping you heal physical challenges in yourself and others. You're a healer like me. So again, more reiteration of you possibly doing some more like even energy healing and stuff. It may it may be working with animals as well, incorporating animals in there. Maybe you'll have an animal in your clinic when they come see you, or in your home, or maybe, petting animals while you guys are talking will be comforting for them, or, something untraditional. Definitely feel like you're going to be doing something independent of having to work for a company. So all these things happen for a reason, they're all meant to be, and it's all of it. And anything that doesn't feel like it's working for you in your life in a way is trying to get you to move through it and to make some kind of discovery on the other end of it. So that's why you don't avoid confrontation, because you want to go into it and take care of it and find out what goodie is in there for you. There's some kind of a gold nugget in there you got to discover. Better communication, or wow, I didn't realize that's where you were coming from. How cool is that? Or, if you feel like it's salvageable and it's worth it. Okay. I'm considering getting trained for quantum. Oh my gosh. I'm considering getting training for quantum healing for a new work path, or perhaps mentoring with you. Can you please see what spirit thinks is best for me to do? I read these beforehand just to make sure it just kind of flows, but I don't feel into it or anything like that. And I totally forgot that you talked about quantum healing. That is so funny. Yes, you're definitely going that direction. You're definitely going to be incorporating that for sure. That was funny. Yeah, what a great idea. And you could even, like, in quantum healing, isn't that also past lives maybe? I mean, think of how cool that could be. You talk about all these different things that are going on that are in the person's way, and then at the end, you end up saying, "Okay, so let's look into your past life and see, feel into the past life for the person and work through the past life." That could be super powerful and amazing. So they said definitely you're on the right track. All right, so 4064. I have 2 rescued kitties at home. One goes out at night and comes back at dawn. And now the second kitty is curious and wants to go outside too. I'm hesitant because the place I got her from emphasized that she should be kept at home. Maybe something happened to her. Can you please do a reading on whether or not I should let her go outside? It's so scary once they go outside, because they really get a taste for being out there. They don't know how to protect themselves. They can get taken by a hawk. I'm a huge advocate of keeping cats in a cat enclosure to best protect them. I've just heard, I mean, they get hit by cars, they get distracted following a butterfly or a fly, and it's so easy for them to get hurt, and for hawks to just swoop them up and take them away, or any other kind of predator, or foxes or anything like that. So unless you're a feral cat who grew up in that world and kind of knows, you're an alley cat and you're just like, what's going on and how to, it's just like a person becoming like I don't know. It just, they're not equipped, they're vulnerable. And I don't know. I like to build a cat enclosure if you can. It can be a really big one. It can be, it can have all kinds of fun things for them to do, and activities and things to climb, but it would be a great way for your cat to be able to go outside and still stay safe. Even in the best of circumstances, we have a fenced yard, but that's not a fenced yard. It's not going to keep a hawk from coming in and grabbing. Maybe when you go out with your cat out in the yard, that would be okay, as long as you're there to kind of fend off a hawk, or like just a human presence can kind of fend off those wild animals. But it's tough to contain a cat. It really is, because then they're going to want to climb trees and jump over fences and all that kind of stuff. So would it be okay? Would it be okay if she lets this cat go free? If she lets the cat go free, is that okay? I kind of get a very questionable. But yeah, I think that's a really good compromise. I definitely did not get a yes. The cat that's already outside all the time, or does the overnight thing. Could that cat kind of be a buddy and show the other one the works? I feel like it would I don't think that it would happen quite like you would hope. It's almost like the other cat would take off and just forget it that about the other cat. It's not like he's going to be babysitting all night and be like, okay, stay right beside me. I'll protect you. It's not like he's going to be like looking out for the other cat. So maybe you want to put them both in a cat enclosure, something like, I don't know, 4x6 or something like that. Um, I've had different cat enclosures in different ways. You can have them like have a little, either a door that's built into a door, like a little cat door that goes built into a back door, and then you have like a screened in porch out back, or you could have it like come like in the back of the house, but like a guest bedroom or something has a little in and out window. You could have them go out there. I've seen it in kitchens. The cats jump up on the counter and they go through a little hole in the kitchen and then they go outside in the enclosure. But I think that's the best way to go, is having a cat enclosure. I would never just let my cats just run free, because anytime I've had that happen, they die within a relatively short period of time. I mean, within like a year to 3 years, the cat is dead. So they just have so much shorter of a lifespan if you just let them have free reign. And like I said, though, if you can make their life as fun as possible with a cat enclosure, then they're not going to, even for that matter, for a dog being in a crate. Crates are so important to make them feel safe. But if we look at it as, oh, I'm enslaving them and putting them in a crate, then you're seeing it in a negative perspective. But it can be a very positive, great thing for a dog to do. They love being in crates if they form a positive association with it. So just make your cat enclosure really fun. Have like bushes and shelves and all kinds of cool stuff that they can do in there. And your cats are not going to feel deprived. And you can even explain to them, I'm trying to protect you right now. You don't know what's out there. I remember I had a cat named Neo when I was in Granbury, Texas. And he was always arguing with me, like, Mom, I want to go outside. I want to go outside. I want to go outside. And I was like, you don't understand, Neo. Like, I would take him in the car with me and I would take him on a leash sometimes. But I was like, you don't understand. It's a big, bad world out there. And you're just sweet and naive. And you're just going to get swept right up. And he was just like, no, I'm not. You're being overprotective and all this stuff. Well, finally, when I went to move to Boulder, I found a good home for him that would allow him to go outside like he wanted. And I told him that. I said, we made a deal. He said, I want somebody like you, but somebody who will let me outside. And I was like, okay, we'll find you that as best as I can. And I actually found somebody who fell in love with him immediately. And she was a lot like me in a lot of ways. And she just really loved the hell out of him. And she would send me pictures all the time. And he was having so much fun. And I saw him running around with a couple of little dogs. And he was just running around this big field and having a blast. And he had like a cat tree that was out on the back porch. And I mean, he was living it up and living the life. And I was so happy for him. And then I didn't hear from them for a while. It was kind of an abnormal pattern for them. It was a couple. And so I asked, I was like, how's it going? Any more recent pics or something? And then she just was like, I'm so sorry to tell you this, but he got, we think a hawk took him. And I was like, oh, I told him, like, grr, and she says he just disappeared. He just disappeared and we haven't seen him since. So, but he did live a really happy life for a little bit. But again, it's like they only live a certain period of time when they're just left to their own devices. So I don't know if I would do it. Okay, number 2, I have been working for the last 44 years and I'm thinking of retiring this August on my birth date. I will not be at the allowed retirement age, so my Social Security amount will not be the 100% of my pension. It will not kick in for another year. Will the RV happen by then so that I will be financially independent? Many blessings. Okay, so if she goes ahead and retires this year on her birthday, will that work out financially for her? I get a yes. Will the RV happen in the meantime? Yes, for sure. It feels like it's going to happen any second. It's inevitable. It's absolutely going to happen. It's just a matter of time. And, I get reports all the time, you guys, and I'm watching stuff all the time on that. So, and I'm following it very closely. So, oh yeah, this is absolutely a thing and it's absolutely going to happen. So don't let anybody else like put you on some other timeline where you're not going to have it happen. Your belief is going to make it so. Be on the timeline where it happens, because lots of really wonderful things are going to roll out with it. So, is she going to be okay then if she retires this year? Is she going to be okay financially if she retires this year? Okay, yes. Congratulations. That's awesome. How exciting. Okay. So 4068. 4068. What would my true love ask you about me if he were to reach out to you for guidance regarding us? That is awesome. I love this so much. What would your true love ask me about you if he were doing a reading? I feel like he would be concerned about finances. Would you be okay if I'm not making my maximum potential as of yet? Would it also be okay if I'm still kind of a work in progress with the type of work I want to do? Because he feels like he's getting into something, but he's a bit of a novice at it yet. And he's hoping it'll make money, but it's not quite paying off just yet. And since he's new at it, he's a little bit insecure as to whether he made the right decision. And he's kind of like, if I end up wanting to do something else, is she going to be supportive of that? Or does she want me to wait until I'm like totally solid doing something and I've been at it for a while and I'm really good and I'm bringing in the money? I feel like kids wanting to know about kids. I have these little green balls in my matcha. I just want to make sure I don't have a big old green ball hanging off. I do have great teeth right now, don't I? It's so funny. Something about having kids in the background or putting kids off for a little bit while he stabilizes, while you guys stabilize. I think he wonders whether you'd want to be a stay-at-home mom or not, even. Or whether you just be the two of you. I think he wonders about what kind of places you'd like to visit, trips you'd like to take. How do you feel? What things make you feel stable and secure in life so that he could supply those things? Whether you'd be supportive of some of his hobbies and interests that he's not sure you would be supportive of. Things that you could do together, like projects you could work on together. I feel like getting a message from him in here. Anything that you're particular about. He's curious what you're particular about, like preferences and things. He wants to know you like inside and out. And he also wants to avoid, he just said avoid any kind of landmines. He feels like, hang on, not type on. He's also curious in ways that you guys have differences. He wants to see what you think in terms of how you could overcome those or have a meeting of the minds about those things. If you're willing to compromise, or, if he could maybe compromise in certain areas. He's wondering if you guys like the same things, like sexually, if you like it as frequently as he does. If you'd be open to doing things that I feel like having sex in different places, like out in the out in the bushes, or in the bathroom at some public place, or I don't know, at his parents' place, or like, people have their things. He also has been thinking about some things that you guys have discussed before that he's not quite sure if you've changed your mind about those things, or he really just needs to touch base with you. He really does. Does he plan to talk to her soon? I get a yes. I feel like maybe even within the next couple of weeks. I do feel like something really big is about to happen. You guys are probably feeling it too. Yeah, he needs space to figure some things out right now. But he also says, I've given it so much thought and I know it to be my deepest truth. I choose you. No matter how things look on the outside, you're the only one I want. Please trust me on that. Okay. Anything else? What else would you ask? I think he's trying to ask me, like where would be a good place for us to live? How do you see us living together, working together, and how do you see our lives working kind of seamlessly or smoothly in the future? He would want me to describe that for him. Something about cooking too. I don't think he likes cooking very much. He wonders how much cooking you would be willing to do, or if you'll be eating out all the time. That's funny. Yeah, so something, I just saw something like you guys holding hands every night out on the back porch too. So I think he's just curious how you live and what types of things you like to do. And I think he just daydreams about what it would be like. I think he would just want more of a picture of that so that he can have more hope that it would be easy, that it wouldn't be a struggle. So yeah, I hope that helps. All right. 4070. And this is the last one. Okay. I think my twin flame moved in next door. I've been having massive energetic shifts and upgrades since he moved in, but I'm not sure if he's awake or in the know of this. Sometimes it feels as though I might be imagining it, as there's only the energetic experience to rely on as proof. Would love your take on this scenario. Okay. Definitely pray to see the truth in all things. Thank you, God, that thank you that I see the truth in all things. Thank you for showing me the truth in all things. That just popped in my head. Is he one of her true loves? Now, I would definitely look in my playlist, all about true love, and watch my video, the different types of true love, so that you can understand what it's all about. But it does, the energetic connection you're describing and whatnot does sound like a twin flame type thing. And there's just a lot that you should learn about them before, so you don't take certain things personally, like when they pull back from you and when they date somebody else and all that kind of stuff they all go through. He's definitely a true love. Is he a twin flame? I think he very well could be. I wouldn't tell him he is. They tend to not take that too well. They tend to run away, especially if they're not ready or they're too immature yet. So I would just lay low, let it go real slow, take lots of space for yourself. If you feel triggered, do the healing work on yourself. Give him plenty of space. And he will discover it. He will be just as drawn to you. Is he thinking of her as much as she's thinking of him? Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, don't try to put any labels on it or anything like that. And you can kind of lay hints sometimes, like, oh, I kind of sensed you were home. If you guys develop a relationship and you start texting or something like that, you could be like, I kind of thought you were probably such and such or whatever. It sure drives me crazy sometimes when my bra keeps falling down. It's like, stop it. Okay. What do you want to tell me about the guy next door? Ooh, wow. He's super happy, super happy about you. And he's wanting to make you some kind of an offer. It could even be a miracle. The sun card next to this major commitment card, he could be even thinking that you could be somebody he could have kids with and marry. So he's just trying to get up the strength to do the right thing. So if he's ignoring you, it's intentional because he's insecure or something like that, but he knows that it's the wrong thing to do, the wrong thing. Or he's with somebody, he's trying to get up the strength to divorce, possibly too. He's trying to manifest making some kind of a judgment call to make things go forward very quickly. So he may be just wrapping up something in his life right now. And before, bringing you into it, marriage. Yes, marriage, clarity, marriage. Yeah, happy family. So he knows he can be really happy and fulfilled. Something tells him, I wonder what, something tells him that he would be really happy with you. So you guys are both feeling it, but I would just play it really cool. Play it really cool. Take your time and let him take his time. If we were just intimate and I ran away, please know that it wasn't you. It was just super intense and awesome. So I ran feeling undeserving. I'll get my courage back and come back around though. See, he knows it too. And he feels it. I'm being held up in a prison of some sort or self-imposed. Either way, I'm doing my best to get myself out of this and will reach out as soon as I can. Please don't worry about me. Just because I love being intimate with you doesn't mean I'm using you or being a player. It's just my most comfortable way of showing you my love for you without words. So this could also be, if you guys have not been physical, it could mean that he hopes that it doesn't come across that way. If he does want to get physical with you, it's just he's maybe feeling insecure about his words. So he's like, I'd rather make love to you and show you how much I love you than to worry about what words I say and how I could make a mistake with my words. I've never stopped loving you. I never will. So that could be a past life connection. Like he could still remember a love he had for you back when. He's just finally starting to love himself enough to open up to you loving him. And he's on shaky legs yet, but he's heading in the right direction. I want to work on this so I'm not too needy and push you away, he says. So just let him keep building up his confidence. And I'm not talking to you because I tend to sabotage myself and I don't want to hurt you. I'm working on healing, believing, and becoming more confident in myself so I can open up to this caliber of love. Yeah. You got to keep her there. You got to keep her. So, and for some reason, I just saw a fish or a trout. Maybe you guys are going to go fishing or something. Bonding over fishing. All right. So now we're going to do our general blissing. So if you just want to relax, drop your shoulders, think about something you would like to work on or to have happen or something you'd like to have manifest or healed or anything like that. Then as long as it's as long as it is honoring everybody's free will, respecting everybody's free will, and it's for the best and highest good for everybody involved, it will be amplified as I do this light language blissing. So, Shishina Pama Anataike Hela and Sensei Lekina I Hopopomo Hola da Chinchena I Hela I can Sassina I Pampa Shishin Tatiki Ho La Hena Tashin Sase Ela Ana Aki Ain't Shishina Tatikin Kain. Ite umpo uma ona aela. Chichinche la hetna ke en sasa ela o. Okay. If you guys have a question that you would like on the next Q&A, just go to amysatori.com/ask Amy. And I've got all the information on there as to how you can participate. And yeah, I'm starting to shoot these on Mondays instead of Sundays now that I'm taking weekends off. So if you get in your questions by Sunday night, America time, then yeah, then you'll be good. You'll be golden. All right, you guys have a beautiful week and weekend. Sending you guys a big hug, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.